Hello everyone, welcome to this special video about how to use the Cptp, which is the Comprehensive Prelims Testing Program. This is a differently structured program, very different from what otherwise you find, which are basically test series with a number of tests. Not only is this organized differently, this program basically contains multiple test series. You may have gone through the contents and seen that it is divided into two or three different kinds of formats. So one format you will find is these smaller sectional tests. So those tests are arranged more or less chapter wise. You will find in ancient India, there is a test on the Indus Valley civilization, one test on the Chola Empire, and so on and so on. So there is that format. You will find those extensively covered for polity chapter wise, for history, for geography as much as possible, and various other subjects. These are smaller tests, sectional tests. The other type of test you will find are full length tests, obviously, much to the correspondence of the UPSC pattern. 100 questions, similar negative marking, all those things. These full length tests you will find are either mock tests, complete full length mock tests for GS and CSAT both, or you will find that they are previous year questions, all previous year questions. I think 10, 15, 20 years worth of previous year questions are already there in this testing program. So the way to use this program is by default different. And I want to say a few things about how to approach this, not only just how to use it, and I'll suggest a schedule, but how to approach it mentally. See, first of all, leave the fear of feedback. That is the biggest issue I have noticed with test series. It paralyzes people. It paralyzed me at that time when I had test series. It used to be a difficult task to get myself to give these tests because I knew that there will be a score, that score might not be that good, and that score will probably tell me some judgment. I was not able to stop that judgment on myself, basically. That was my issue, and that is the issue with most people. So आपको इन tests को देके डरना नहीं है. You have to approach them with the view that this feedback which I am going to get from the test is going to be golden. This is what I want. I want to find out how and where I'm making the mistakes. If you approach these tests with the mindset of forming judgment, अगर आपके माइंड में ये चल रहा है कि आई एम गोइंग टू गिव दिस टेस्ट एंड आई वांट अ कन्फर्मेशन कि मेरा प्रीलिम्स होगा या नहीं होगा, you are going to land in trouble because most of the times the result is not to your satisfaction, not in the section. तो वो तो we have to take that thought and leave it out. उसको निकाल के साइड में रख देना है, उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है हमको. हमको सिर्फ इन टेस्ट को फीडबैक के लिए देना है, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो सबसे पहले ये बात. सेकेंड थिंग, what is the testing schedule that you will follow for the most part? The testing schedule that you will follow is like this. Those sectional tests hain, they are smaller tests. They are 10 question tests, multiple 10 question tests you will find. And I will show you after I share my screen. I want that you should attempt at least about 100 questions every day. Now, given this point in time, जब हम इस point पे हैं अभी इस time पे 100 questions के आसपास हमको हर रोज attempt करने हैं. It is very difficult to organize your preparation according to these tests. हम ये अगर सोचें कि we will give this sectional test after reading this chapter and then see and then go back, वो नहीं होता है. It doesn't realistically happen because it just is too much work. हमको simultaneously we just have to continue testing. तो my honest suggestion, practical suggestion, है आप अपनी preparation को और अपनी testing को side में रखिए. Keep them separate. आपकी preparation चल रही है, आपकी testing side में चल रही है, ठीक है. They will inform each other. आपको feedback मिलेगा, आप अपनी प्रेपरेशन को थोड़ा सा फाइन ट्यून करोगे, आपको लग रहा है कि दिस सेक्शन इज कंप्लीटली हॉरिबली प्रिपेयर्ड और नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड, तो आपको पता चल जाएगा वो सब चीजें. दैट्स फाइन, बट बियॉन्ड दैट हमको उनको अलग रखना है. हमको कॉन्स्टेंटली इन क्वेश्चंस को इसीलिए सॉल्व करना है बिकॉज वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड वेयर एग्जैक्टली वी आर एंड वी नीड टू इंप्रूव दिस क्वेश्चन आंसरिंग एबिलिटी. दैट इज द पॉइंट नंबर 2. इंपॉर्टेंटली पॉइंट नंबर 2, one thing is the knowledge that you will have, the other thing is how do you arrive at the right question with more accuracy. That is the thing we need to improve upon. Point number 3, जब आप ये sectional test दोगे या full length test दोगे, you will get some feedback. You will start to realize that okay, this is my score and so on and so forth. That score does not mean that you have not studied that chapter or that keyword or that question or that particular person or that date or time जो उस question में आया था. It does not mean that you need to go back to history and read that chapter again because you are not able to answer the question. It does not mean that. it will give you only a broad overview कि ठीक है, this whole medieval India section is not well prepared. ठीक है, if it is not well prepared, go back to your strategy and figure out that yes, probably it was never meant to be so well prepared because आपने उसका cost benefit analysis करके decide कर लिया था कि इसमें से ज्यादा time नहीं देना है. That is fine. इससे ज्यादा इस टेस्टिंग प्रोग्राम की वैल्यू हमको नहीं निकालनी है. वी कैनॉट इम्प्यूट मोर वैल्यू ऑन दिस एंड वी कैनॉट एक्सपेक्ट इट, वी कैनॉट आस्क इट टू गिव अस फीडबैक ऑन वेदर वी विल क्लियर प्रीलिम्स और नॉट. दैट इज नॉट द बेस्ट वे टू यूज इट. कीप दिस 2, 3, 4 थिंग्स इन माइंड एंड प्रोसीड विद द टेस्ट सीरीज. नाउ लेट मी शो यू how this looks exactly as you open it, give you more concrete ideas about how to make the best use of it. So this is the content that you will find. These are the sectional tests जो मैं बता रहा था. These are sectional tests for government. Say for example, for ancient India, for medieval India, you will see 24 into 10 is mentioned. So that means there are 24 tests of 10 questions each. This is what it means. This 24 into 10 means that. This 24 into 10 means that there are 24 tests of 10 questions each for medieval. In modern, that is 40 into 10. So there are 400 questions in all. That means there are 40 tests of 10 questions each. That is what it means. Constitutional framework, constitutional dimensions. This is polity, then geography, then economy, then art and culture. Now here there is a folder which says IAS, UPSC, CSE Prelims 2022 mock test. It's 20 tests. There are 20 tests in here. 15 tests of GS and 5 tests of CSAT. These tests, I suggest you should be taking at least 2 per week. At least 2 per week of these full length tests. Don't wait for the preparation to complete. Don't wait. Don't be afraid. आप बस test लिखिए. Attempt कीजिए. Just see what happens. Note the feedback. Note the questions and just proceed with it. These are previous year papers. Again, this is not something that you should feel daunted by. ये हमको करने हैं practice. Especially the CSAT portion we should practice. That is, at least it will give us enough ammunition to get better at it. This current affairs folder, this CA 2022 UPSC IAS State PCS current affairs folder, this is arranged in a different and interesting format. You can have these tests monthly also and topic wise also. So for instance, if you go into the monthly folder, 18 into 30, that means there are 18 tests of 30 questions each. That is what it means. Topic wise means there are 63 tests with 10 questions each. If you check out this monthly section, you find June, this is a test for June. इसमें 30 questions होंगे, सब में 30 questions होंगे. There is June, March, July, and so on. You give these. I would suggest start backwards. Start with the June and go on until you reach the last test, and then you'll find. So for instance, this is divided into topics and months. So in January, polity and governance, in January, government schemes, in March, polity and governance. In this, you obviously understand what it means, right? That is why there are a lot more tests in this. This is the way that you should use it. But this is not all. There are some other interesting things also. Apart from the testing program which you will find on the application, I have also introduced these gamified quizzes, these live quizzes. It's very, very exciting, very interesting format. And it is just making a huge difference with wherever and whichever students I'm using it in. There is immediate massive difference in the way they perceive the preparation and their whole experience. Excellent reviews I have got for it. So I will be including it in the Cptp also, as many as I can. So this basically is a gamified format. It keeps giving you these power-ups. You can play with your friends actually. You can have other people play multiplayer. It adds to that excitement and it adds to that feeling of competition. And there is a time, you see this timer shortening. This timer shortening is basically the 45 seconds I have to answer a question. I'm not going to read the question, just answering it just to give you a demonstration. This is how it is. And so I go on, it keeps giving me more questions, and suppose I want to exit, I will show you another way to use it. So suppose that I don't want to take the test only, I want to just revise. If I want to revise, I click on flashcards, and there is flashcard mode iska on ho jata hai. In that flashcard mode, there are no questions, there are these. So I see what, okay, fine, there are the following reason, it flips, it gives me the right answer. Next. You know how to use flashcards, I don't need to explain this to you. But anyway, this is one thing that is being included. Another thing that is being included are certain various PDF tests, which I want you to give. Some specially curated tests, which are not in the format of the Cptp, although Cptp is extremely extensive. उसके अलावा किसी चीज की जरूरत नहीं है, बट जस्ट फॉर द sake of making sure that for some people this gamified experience works like super well, so I could not include it, so I've included it. And I will have to share the links of these particular games with you separately. You have the CPTP in the app, where when you are enrolling in the CPTP, I'll share the other links also, so you can have some sort of gamified quizzes, and I'll probably try to create a schedule so that you can play live with other people, and there will be some PDF tests alongside. And so that makes it complete. I hope that this was helpful. You understand that what the CPTP is about, you understand how to use it, you understand what is included. I will repeat for the sake of clarity just the 3-4 main important points. First, you have to approach this without the feeling of fear of judgment. This is used for feedback. That's the way you have to approach it. Two, you are going to try and do 100 questions a day, whether or not you have prepared that subject. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि सीसैट करना है तो सीसैट, अगर आपको लग रहा है कि जीएस करना है तो जीएस, बट रफली 100 क्वेश्चंस अ डे आई वांट यू टू सॉल्व, बिकॉज दैट इज व्हाट लीड्स यू टू मेकिंग इट मेक्स फॉर अ मच बेटर टेस्ट टेकर. एक्यूरेसी इंक्रीज हो जाती है, कॉन्फिडेंस इंक्रीज हो जाता है. You start to understand how to answer the questions, and that adds to the knowledge, and many of the times that is what leads to a higher score, and people clear the cutoff. I've seen it dozens of times. 3, there are sectional tests and there are full length tests. It is mentioned which sectional tests contain how many questions. Do these for practice and assessment and diagnosis, but do not judge. Also, do not judge too harshly your level of preparation. जो भी उस sectional test में score आता है. That is something very important. Okay. And apart from that, whenever you have a doubt, please go through this video. The first 5 minutes of it, I explain everything that you need to know and how to approach it. I hope it is helpful. As I keep observing, because I am always observing. As I keep observing, I will detect कहाँ क्या problem हो रही है. As soon as I detect it, I will share the information and I will make some suggestions or some amendments if required. You can go ahead with it. This testing program is very extensive. Whatever there was not, I've added now the games and the other PDFs also. There is nothing left from the point of view of you cannot test yourself more than all of this combined now. There is no way you can test yourself more or more efficiently. Now it is there. Please feel free to use it. I will continue to guide along the way. For now, these instructions are more than enough. Please begin. All the best.